Greetings, everyone. This is Curtis, and this is one of my first episodes of Why Capitalism Must Die. We oftentimes hear that capitalism is a system that generates wealth. It's by whatever name you want to call it. You want to call it God, you can call it God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. This beautiful green planet, food, our health, our bodies, our relationships, our connections with others, clean air, clean water, oxygen, nitrogen, water, a landmass, all these things which took billions of years to produce, or even 7 days if you believe in God. Took a long time to produce, and it's now being destroyed. So no, capitalism is not a system which generates wealth. It's a system which destroys wealth. All of the wealth that we have already inherited and got for free. Our eyesight. Capitalism destroys that. Because of all the junk foods and processed foods that we eat now, most people can't see worth a damn anymore. Capitalism destroys clean water. Most of the water now that we drink all throughout the world is toxic. Has formaldehyde in it, nuclear radiation, oil, a whole host of toxic chemicals. It is estimated that our drinking water right now has close to about 500 different chemicals in them, most of which mimic estrogen. And this water is not being filtered out by the government. On top of that, of course, we have all the lead that's in the water that's been revealed because of the Flint water crisis. And even furthermore, we have fluoride. And fluoride is put in our drinking water because aluminum companies don't want to pay for the pollution that they generate, so they just figure, okay, well, since we have to mine for aluminum, that generates a lot of fucking pollution. So how can we externalize this cost? Meaning that, how can we actually have someone else pay for our toxic pollution? How can we, make someone else pay for the costs that we generate from our doing business? Essentially, how can we rob somebody else? Because, if we pay the cost, that's going to cut into our profit. No, I don't want to do that. I want somebody else to pay for the cost. So you know what? I'll bribe some scientists and say, fluoride is good for your teeth, even though it destroys your teeth and causes dental fluorosis and causes your teeth to fall out. Fluoride is good for your teeth. That's right. You need fluoride. And we're going to put fluoride in your toothpaste and put fluoride in your mouthwash and fluoride in everything. So that's why we have fluoride in our water. So all of our water is toxic. Now, what's the solution to all this toxic water? Oh, they gave us more toxic water in a plastic fucking bottle. That's supposed to solve anything. Because the plastics contain over 500 different chemicals. So it destroys clean water. Clean air took millions of years to generate. That's toxic. Close to about 10 million people around the world now die from air pollution. I'll repeat that again. 10 million people around the world now die from air pollution. Not from terrorism, not from gun violence, not from food poisoning, from air pollution. Are we going to wage a war on air pollution? No, we're not going to wage a war, because air pollution is fundamental to our capitalistic system, which is totally dependent upon fossil fuels for infinite growth on a finite planet. So all of our clean air is destroyed. You have millions of kids now which have to take oxygen. They have to actually use oxygen masks, and they have to take these little, the type of medicines for asthma. So you have millions of kids now that literally have to get breathing treatments on a consistent basis because our air is so damn toxic. Isn't that something? Isn't that for freedom? Free market, I tell you. So it destroys clean air. Our clean air is destroyed. We have no fucking clean air in this country. We have no clean food. All of our food now is genetically modified, and it's not even labeled. Not only that, they spray billions of pounds of toxic chemical warfare agents, aka herbicides and pesticides, on our food. Now, is this labeled? So when people talk about GMO labeling, it's like, well, okay, of course they're not going to label all the toxic shit that's in your food. Of course they're not going to label the fact that your food's been made in a laboratory somewhere. They don't label that they put toxic chemicals in the food. They don't label that the actual cans that they put the food in is toxic. They don't label that the plastic that they put the food in is toxic. So do you really expect, given that they don't tell you that the food contains toxic additives, it contains toxic fats, it contains toxic wheat, it contains toxic sugar, it's contained in toxic plastics, it's contained in toxic cans. You know, do you really expect in that situation that they're going to tell you that the very essence of the food is toxic and is killing you? Hell the fuck no. They're not going to tell you that. So of course, your food is going to not be labeled with the GMO label. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because even if they label the food with the GMO, they'll put it in such small ass fine print. You know, if you look at some of these GMO labels, you know, the print is so small, you know, and because our eyesight is destroyed because of all the processed foods we eat, most people won't even be able to see it. And not only that, our school, our public school system is so defunct, most people can't even read. Close to about 30% of Americans are illiterate. So they can't even read the labels. So GMO labeling doesn't matter. So again, we have clean water, clean air, clean food, destroyed. And the last point I want to mention, shelter. Because we always hear, you know, the basic human needs, food, clothing, shelter. And, you know, touch on clothing, most of your clothing now is toxic, contains toxic chemicals, and is made with genetically modified cotton. And as much as, you know, clothing is supposed to be a human need, the reality is that we really, most of the parts of the world really don't need clothing. But, of course, like every good capitalist should, he will pass a law to create a business. So that's why nudity, nudity is bad. Oh, we gotta be covered up. Oh, God, you know, can't show my titties, can't show my dick, can't show my vagina. Oh, we gotta be covered up. And the reason why they have that law is because they can sell you clothing. You know, because, you know, in most parts of the world, you really don't need clothing. You know, it's fascinating when I go to these tropical islands and I see all these people, it's like 90 degrees outside and everyone's wearing clothes. I'm looking at them like, what the hell are you doing? You're wearing clothes and it's 90 degrees, like you're sweating, you're wearing jeans. You know, you're trying to look like an American when you don't need clothes. Well, that's because when you pass a law, you create a business. So that's why nudity is discouraged, so these capitalists can sell us more clothing, which, they're always inventing new clothing. So the clothes are only going to last you about, maybe like a year because it's actually built for the clothing to break down through planned obsolescence. That's another way that these businesses rob you legally. And they're always designing new clothes. Have you ever realized that every fucking year there's a new fashion design? Why can't there just be one fashion design, just through eternity? Why does it always have to be, bell bottoms and then strip bottoms and then top bottoms and then down bottoms, and all these goddamn bottoms? Why does it have to be a new bottom for every goddamn year that they want to invent some clothing? Why? That's because they want to make the clothing obsolete so they can sell you more clothes. That's the reason. So again, the need for clothing is not even being met. And it's not even a genuine need in most places of the world. So we talk about clothing. And the last place, shelter. Well, it is important, for people to have houses, to protect themselves from the elements. But the most important house that we all have and we all share is being totally obliterated now. Planet Earth, which took billions of years to create. Billions of years. That's being destroyed. The entire ecosystems throughout the world are being destroyed. Rainforests are being destroyed. Entire mountains are being destroyed under mountaintop removal. Lakes are being destroyed. Rivers are being dammed and destroyed and being polluted. So our entire planet that we're all dependent upon, that we need to sustain our life. Because truth be told, we don't need a house. If the planet is destroyed and the ecosystems are destroyed, your house is worth about much as that green money that you use with dead presidents on it. That's worthless. If we do not have a planet that sustains us, then having a house is worthless. And even that, most of our houses are killing us. So these capitalists can't even give us good houses. Because of planned obsolescence, the houses are breaking down. The houses are made with toxic materials. They're made with formaldehyde. They're made with PVC pipes. They're made with toxic paint. It's estimated that most of the air pollution that's found in houses these days is more toxic than the air outside. So most of our houses are killing us. The carpets are killing us because those are made with toxic chemicals. The mattresses are killing us because those contain flame retardants. The sofas are killing us because those contain flame retardants and other toxic chemicals. The TVs are killing us. They're making us like zombies because we just sit in our houses all day and just watch TV. Donald Trump's coming to get me. Hillary Clinton's the greatest. Democracy. ISIS is coming to get us. Oh my God. The TVs are killing us. And as a matter of fact, you have more houses now than you have homeless people. And we know that capitalism creates poverty because it's based upon, minimizing cost, minimizing labor costs. So because of that, you always have a system where capitalists are looking to reduce their labor costs by shipping jobs over to third world countries, which cause people to be unemployed and eventually homeless, or or once you make them unemployed, then you just put them in jail, and that's a major cause of poverty and homelessness in this country. Or since you ship over jobs, only jobs available is the military, so you ship over jobs to these foreign countries, and then you send over the military to protect your interests in those foreign countries, because the military is all about protecting and serving the rich. So of course capitalism creates poverty because it's based upon always minimizing costs and maximizing profits. So poverty becomes something that you can make, that you create, and then that you can make money off of. So you can, give all these jobs to third world countries and use all these technologies to displace human labor. And then you can give all those poor people payday loans, when they can't afford their basic necessities, and charge them 5,000% interest, 5,000% interest at that. So yes, capitalism is a huge cause of poverty. It does not generate wealth at all. So when we talk about, our very important home that's being destroyed, you can see that capitalism is not about creating wealth at all. It destroys wealth. And that's why capitalism must die. Because, we live in these homes, and homes are killing us. We have all these homes now because capitalism is all about producing excess, overproduction, overconsumption, and creating poverty. So you have millions of people who are homeless now, but yet there's millions of homes out there. There's more homes than there are homeless people. And that's something diametrically wrong with economic system like that. So for those of you who want to continue to believe, okay, it's about creating wealth, building wealth. No, we already have wealth. We have hands, we have eyesight. We have these bodies, of course, that are being destroyed now by all the toxic chemicals and toxic foods. So that's why, we spend $2.3 trillion on disease care every year. Because health is our wealth. Well, that wealth is being destroyed by vaccines, by toxic chemicals, by GMOs, by air pollution, by coal mining, by oil companies, by car companies, by nuclear radiation. Our health is our wealth, and that's being destroyed now. So that's why we spend $2.3 trillion a year on disease care. So no, capitalism is not about creating wealth. That's why, for the most part, most of our economy is based upon destruction. It's based upon war. The U.S. government spends $2.8 trillion a year on destruction, on nuclear weapons, on warfare ships, on aircraft carriers, on missiles, on drones, on military bases, on weapons of mass destruction, chemical weapons, depleted uranium. That's what our entire economy is based upon. On war. So, and that's a primary example of how capitalism is based upon destruction, wealth destruction, human destruction, destruction of everything, and then destroy things and then rebuild it. So that's the name of the game under this slave market capitalist system. So for all you economists out there, for all you free market religious zealots out there, for all you people who think that capitalism is just, about building wealth, no, it's not, because you already have a whole bunch of wealth around you that's being destroyed right now. And you don't even know it, because, they destroy all this wealth and then give you a cell phone, give you a home, give you a car, give all these artificial illusions of wealth, which have no real substance and which you do not even need. And that's how they placate you. So thank you again for watching this first video of many of why capitalism must die. I'm trying to add a little bit of humor, but the content I'm going to include is very serious. So thank you again. Please share this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.